The only reason I'm bringing this up is because how a small little story elevated into this crazy story that we got here today. So, Caitlin Clark is playing a game. And there's this issue with her and Angel Reese. There's this, Caitlin Clark pushes one of the teammates of Caitlin Clark. I'm sorry, Angel Reese pushes one of the teammates of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark fouls Angel Reese. Angel Reese does one of these LeBron flops and falls on the ground. I mean, she learned it from LeBron. Falls to the ground. And the next thing you know, DeMarcus like, oh my God, she's protected. Oh, it's all because she's white.
The WNBA is currently facing intense controversy, with a major clash threatening to divide the league. At the heart of the storm is Britney Griner, one of the league's most prominent figures, who has come under fire for allegedly directing racial slurs at rising rookie star Caitlin Clark. The situation escalated further when Griner appeared on the Valuetainment podcast with outspoken host Patrick Bet David. In a hard-hitting interview that quickly went viral, Bet David confronted Griner about the accusations, leaving her visibly unsettled.
Hey, welcome. It's a Friday, and the city of Indianapolis is still exploding. Last night, if you opened your windows, even though I live about 5 miles from downtown, you could hear it. Boo-ha! Halliburton hits another game winner. We'll get into that in a minute, but the WNBA just cannot get out of their own way. You can't be taken serious as a league if you don't want to have the players questioned, if you don't want to have the players booed, if you don't want fan support. You can't be taken serious if the Seattle whatever the hell are, teams like the Seattle whatever the hell are.
But here's where things get even more intense. This controversy isn't just about one player's alleged remarks. It's pulling back the curtain on deeper issues within the WNBA, including long-standing double standards and political biases that many believe are alienating fans and hurting the league's appeal. With Caitlin Clark emerging as the WNBA's brightest star, some argue that without her, the league is becoming increasingly difficult to watch. And this story, it's only getting more explosive.
And says, what is that all about? To Ryan Clark's credit, he apologizes about this. Then Britney Griner is playing a game, and this is what Britney Griner calls. I was not going to comment on any of this stuff until this took place. Watch what she says. The entire internet has reacted to this. Here's Britney Griner. They're playing against the Indiana Fever, and look what she's saying. Go ahead, Rob.
Well, the ticky-tack fouls that we were talking about earlier today.
That pretty much sounds like trash effort.
Let's rewind to May 24th, 2025, during a high-stakes showdown between the Phoenix Mercury and the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark, the Fever's record-breaking rookie, was on fire, drawing double teams and effortlessly sinking long-range threes. But late in the game, tensions boiled over. After a hard foul that led to Britney Griner fouling out, cameras captured a shocking moment. As Griner stormed off the court, she appeared to yell at Clark, allegedly calling her a trash, fine, white girl. The incident, broadcast live on national TV, quickly went viral. Social media lit up, with fans around the world demanding answers and accountability from the WNBA.
Right now you have 10 points, 5 rebounds. We see the Atlanta Dream as being very... Right now she's talking to the refs about holding. We're going to send it back to you guys.
Very important questions there, I'm sure, for
And you won't believe what happened next. The league's response, or lack of one, sparked even more outrage. In a move that stunned many, the WNBA announced it would not be launching an investigation into Britney Griner's alleged comments. That decision ignited a firestorm of criticism, with fans and commentators accusing the league of blatant bias and double standards. The WNBA's refusal to address allegations that Griner made a racist and inflammatory remark toward Caitlin. Clark has only deepened the divide, and the backlash isn't letting up.
Are suing the coach because, well, he swore, or they want to get rid of the coach because he swore. But this is the latest. If there has ever been, and we have said this, a time for a sports league to seize the moment, it is the WNBA right now. They've got the golden goose, Caitlin Clark. They actually have a rivalry.
Fans were outraged, with many arguing that if Caitlin Clark had made a similar comment, the backlash would have been immediate and unforgiving. That's when things took a dramatic turn. Enter Patrick Bet David, the fearless host of the Valuetainment podcast, who stepped into the controversy with a no-holds-barred interview that's now dominating sports media headlines. Known for his blunt approach to tough conversations, Bet David invited Britney Griner onto his show to confront the controversy, head-on. And from the start, it went completely off the rails. Bet David didn't pull any punches. He played the now viral clip of Griner's alleged slur, breaking it down frame by frame before asking her directly, "Did you say this? And if so, why?" Griner appeared visibly uncomfortable, with her eyes, supporters insisting the moment was heated and her words were misinterpreted. But Bet David wasn't buying it. He continued pressing on the racial undertones of the incident, highlighting the WNBA's history of uneven disciplinary actions and what many see as a pattern of protecting high-profile players like Griner from meaningful consequences.
It's very disruptive. It's called a freaking game that they pay you money to play. Don't play the game. It's very disruptive. It continues. Britney Griner voiced frustration in a recent interview, claiming that Caitlin Clark is ruining what used to make the WNBA great. Wait for this.
Empty stands?
Tom, let me just...
go ahead, I'm so mad.
WNBA games used to be a chill, quiet place. You could bring your laptop and relax, maybe even get a little work done. But now, it's like there's a large gathering of people watching us from the stands. Some of them are yelling crazy shit about what they're seeing, putting unfair pressure on us to score like we're there for their entertainment. And that's pretty gross.
And the reason why will shock you, because there are receipts. Patrick Bet-David laid them out clearly, pointing to a troubling pattern. Repeated incidents where Caitlin Clark has been targeted with excessive physicality on the court, like Kennedy Carter's blatant shoulder check and Angel Reese's flagrant foul to the head, often with little to no disciplinary action taken. Bet-David argued that the WNBA's ongoing failure to protect its biggest rising star, combined with its silence on Griner's alleged racial slur, is driving fans away in droves. Viewers came to watch Caitlin Clark shine, not to see her repeatedly subjected to cheap shots with no accountability. To date, Britney Griner has not issued an apology. Many fans see her lack of remorse as a sign of arrogance, and worse, it appears she'll face no consequences. So much for investigating racism, right? Social media erupted in response, with fans applauding Bet David for confronting Griner directly, while slamming the WNBA for letting the controversy fester unchecked. For many, the message was clear. Double standards are tearing the league apart, and the silence speaks volumes.
That they cannot handle all this attention that they're getting, as well as the hate and anger towards Caitlin Clark.
First, respectfully, Britney Griner was in a Russian prison. You would think that somebody who is now free, back in America on home soil, would not have too much to complain about. Especially something like this. Fans in every sport. She described the fans.
But here's what they're not telling you. This controversy isn't just about a single comment or one explosive interview. It's about a league that's bleeding viewership because it refuses to confront its own internal biases. And you'll want to pay attention to this part, because the numbers don't lie. Caitlin Clark isn't just another rookie. She's a full-blown phenomenon. Her debut season with the Indiana Fever sent shockwaves through the WNBA. Her first game against the Connecticut Sun in 2024 pulled in a staggering 9.3 million viewers, a 150% increase over the previous year's equivalent matchup. According to ESPN, Clark's games consistently averaged 7.2 million viewers, with playoff matchups pushing close to 9 million. But it didn't stop there. Clark's jersey accounted for a whopping 70% of all WNBA merchandise sales. The Fever's attendance soared by 50% compared to 2023, driving the team's valuation to an estimated 90 million. She wasn't just a rising star. She was the league's golden ticket, attracting new fans, sponsors, and media attention at an unprecedented rate.
Model that she's sick of the and then she says the whole thing is toxic. I saw a guy with his daughter in the crowd, both of them yelling, couldn't hear what they were saying exactly, but it was either about my performance or some light racism. Definitely one of the two. Give me a flipping break.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
like
of
that?
course.
First of all, first of all, I mean, and Adam, I know, Adam, you definitely have something to say, and I know Adam. I'm going to piggyback off of Adam because Adam's been saying this for a while. That this is why the WNBA is never, ever, ever going to work and never make money. And this is exactly what Caitlin Clark gets for bending the knee. Do you guys remember when she said, when we lost all respect for her, when she said, "I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. And the more we can elevate black women, this is going to be a beautiful thing." That's when it was all over. And Angel Reese and Britney Griner, they walk around like the league owes them something. Even Ryan Clark's attitude as if, bro, where's the victimhood? These are freaking
But here's where it gets really interesting. Since the Griner controversy and Caitlin Clark's quad injury in a separate game against the Atlanta Dream in late May 2025, WNBA ratings have taken a nosedive. Without Clark on the court, average viewership has dropped to just 3.5 million per game, a figure that harks back to the league's pre-Clark days. Fans aren't holding back about why they're tuning out. One frustrated viewer vented, "How bad are the referees in the WNBA? Maybe the worst in any present-day sport. Caitlin Clark has been getting hammered, and quite frankly, the league needs to suspend refs en masse for blatantly biasing the game." Clark is sidelined, and the fans are losing interest.
The fan. Yeah. It doesn't matter what sport you are. It doesn't matter what sport you pick. That's how fans act in every arena. In every arena. So, and then when you, clearly she's not remembering who they let out to get her back.
The Merchant of Death.
The Merchant of Death. An arms dealer that wanted to kill American citizens, according to the reports. That's who they let out.
And if you think that's bad, just wait. The WNBA's $2.2 billion TV deal, part of the NBA's colossal $77 billion media package, depends heavily on star power to justify its value. Without Caitlin Clark, advertisers are pulling back, and networks are struggling to fill airtime. The league's failure to properly address incidents like Griner's alleged slur, along with the ongoing mistreatment of Clark, is costing the WNBA millions. And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Danny Z, who's going to join me in a minute, wrote, "It's been nearly 2 weeks since Atlanta Dream forward Britney Griner fouled out of a game in the WNBA against the Fever, and then was seen on camera shouting something that has been interpreted multiple ways. Some people believe, based on the reading of lips, that she said effing white girl, while others believe she said effing whack call. While no one is certain exactly what was said, there's an easy way to find out. Ask Britney Griner." Whoa! That doesn't even make it into a Journalism 101 preschool class. That's just common sense. Anyway, no one has done that. Not a single person has said
The WNBA's handling of the Griner-Clark controversy has revealed what many fans see as a glaring double standard. Imagine Britney Griner, who was traded for a Russian arms dealer, allegedly hurling racial slurs at Caitlin Clark after fouling out, yet facing no immediate consequences. Now imagine the outrage if Clark had done the same. If Clark, a white straight sophomore, had directed a racial slur at a veteran player, the league would have come down hard with fines, suspensions, or worse. Instead, Griner escaped investigation, fueling perceptions of favoritism and inconsistent discipline. This ticky-tack approach is where things start to get dangerous. The WNBA has long prided itself on progressive values, championing social justice and inclusivity, but many fans argue that this political stance has created a culture where outspoken players like Griner, who advocate for various causes, are shielded from accountability. Meanwhile, players like Clark are left to navigate the fallout alone. Commentators like Bill Maher and Clay Travis have weighed in, suggesting that Clark's race and background make her a target in an increasingly politicized league. Some have even questioned whether Clark should be allowed to continue in the WNBA after these comments.
The ticky-tack fouls that we were talking about earlier today.
And here's what makes this even crazier. The league's refusal to protect Caitlin Clark isn't just about one player. It's a systemic failure to prioritize the integrity of its product. Clark has endured relentless physicality all season, from uncalled fouls to blatant cheap shots. A viral clip from a playoff game against the Connecticut Sun showed Clark taking an elbow to the face, yet no whistle was blown. This sparked calls from commentators like Dave Portnoy demanding referee suspensions. The pattern is clear. The WNBA's officiating is inconsistent, and its disciplinary process appears to favor established stars over rising talents like Clark.
The single response. Still, Griner has participated in multiple games. Now remember, this is a league that says we have a zero tolerance policy against hate words, words of hate, racism, sexism, any kind of ism. But yet nothing on Britney Griner? Whoa, she's played in multiple games. The media has had plenty of access to ask her a question, yet not a single one does. Danny Z and Outkick requested a media credential for the Atlanta Dream game in LA against the Sparks May 27th.
Fans are fed up, and they're voting with their remotes. Social media is overflowing with demands for change. Caitlin Clark's injury and the sharp decline in viewership highlight a pressing need for better officiating, ensuring players aren't hurt because of jealousy or bias. The widespread perception that Clark is being targeted, whether due to her race, her popularity, or her rookie status, has alienated many of the new fans she helped bring to the league.
And it was the ticky-tack fouls, and again, Caitlin Clark doing a little bit of an acting job. Not sure if that was actually a foul, but again, that's Britney's fifth.
But what happens next will leave you speechless. The WNBA's inaction has ignited boycotts, with some fans vowing to skip games until Caitlin Clark returns and the league fixes its officiating problems. I'm done watching until they fix this. Mess, one fan posted. Clark is the only reason I tuned in, and they're just letting her get destroyed. The economic fallout is undeniable. Ticket sales for non-fever games have dropped, and merchandise revenue is stalling without Clark's. Jerseys flying off the shelves.
They was playing a game, and this is what Britney Griner calls. I was not going to comment on any of this stuff until this took place. Watch what she says. The entire internet has reacted to this. Here's Britney Griner. They're playing against the Indiana Fever, and look what she's saying. Go ahead, Rob.
For the ticky-tack fouls that we were talking about earlier today.
Well, that pretty much sounds like trash effing white girl.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest.
So the whole market reacts to this with Britney Griner, right? And then the other quote, Rob, then I'm going to wrap this up and then I'm going to go to Adam. Put the quote of Britney Griner, what she said about the NBA. This is so funny how all this stuff works out, right?
By the end of this, you'll understand why this moment is so critical. The WNBA stands at a crossroads. Caitlin Clark's arrival brought a once-in-a-generation opportunity to elevate the league's profile, compete with major sports like the NHL and MLB, and secure a strong financial future for its players. But the league's failure to protect Clark, combined with its glaring double standards in handling controversies like Griner's, is wasting that opportunity. The numbers tell. The real story: Clark's games drive viewership, revenue, and relevance. Without her, the WNBA risks becoming just another niche sport struggling to stay afloat. And here's the most important part. This isn't just about Clark or Griner. It's about a league that's losing its way. The WNBA's political leanings, while admirable to some, have created a perception of bias that's driving fans away. When players like Griner can allegedly use racial slurs without facing consequences, while Caitlin Clark endures relentless physical and verbal attacks, it sends a message that the league values ideology over fairness, and the consequences have been harsh. Viewership is declining, sponsors are pulling back, and the WNBA's momentum is slipping fast. The Griner-Clark controversy, intensified by Patrick Bet-David's explosive interview, has put the WNBA under a harsh spotlight. Fans are demanding accountability, better officiating, stricter discipline, and an end to the double standards that protect some players while leaving others exposed. Caitlin Clark is expected to return from her injury soon, but the damage is done. The league must act quickly to rebuild trust or risk losing the millions of fans Clark brought with her.
This is from Britney. Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there, watching on purpose. It's very disruptive. It's called a freaking game that they pay you money to play. Don't play the game.
Stick around, because the final twist is something nobody saw coming. If the WNBA doesn't address its issues, it could face a reckoning that threatens its very future. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's the key to the league's survival. And right now, the WNBA is spectacularly failing her and its fans. Trust me, you'll want to see this through to the end, because this next part is what really matters. The league's double standards and political leanings are making it unwatchable. Without Clark, it's on the brink of collapse. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. Stay tuned